All right, guys, welcome back. Live Loud Life podcast. This is a test episode, and if this errors, that means the test works. So that's a good sign. We just got some new podcast recording equipment, and this is more or less just a test for that. But I had some stuff that I want to talk about, and so that'll still be important. But if you don't hear this, then you didn't hear it, which wouldn't even make sense. And it's 10:30 at night. And that's just kind of how it is. This is for the parents that have been burning that midnight oil, working hard on your projects and doing your stuff. Much love to all you guys. This is not about like the go hustle grind. It's just life right now. And a lot of what we need to get done gets done late at the night, just with everything going on, but that's okay. I personally kind of like it. Here's the thing, you got to know how you operate. I operate best in quieter situations, and the shell is a freak where I swear she can be in the zone making a whole course while a baby's crying, she's got one breastfeeding, and somehow cooking dinner at the same time. It like blows my mind what this woman can do. But I can't do it. Like, I was the person who needed to go to the library where it's dead quiet. I had my headphones in and I was concentrating. I just needed that quiet. And to be honest, that's why she gets upset with me. She's like, "You need to go to bed." I'm like, "Well, yeah, I probably should be sleeping a little bit more, but I'm like, I like it. It's quiet at night. The kids aren't yelling at me, and I can actually focus on what I need to get done. But it also gives me a chance to tinker around this stuff. So, not that you guys care, but the new podcast equipment I'm digging. The old stuff that we had was nice, but what we're really hoping to do is get more like one-on-one interviews. I love having conversations with people, like get a cup of coffee, have a beer, and hear a story. And we want it to be valuable content. And realistically, like the last, I think like 5 or 6 episodes has just been me, and hopefully you guys have been enjoying it. I'm not going to lie. I've been putting time and effort into coming up with some ideas, but it's just been me talking because I'm trying to keep the momentum going for what's to come in the future with Live Loud Chiropractic and Coaching. But we want to get out into the community. We want to get interviewing more and more people. And this little gem that we got is a Zoom podcast recorder where I can get up to 4 guests. Right now I only have 2 microphones for it, but that's okay. But we can have more face-to-face conversations. And this is also in preparation for when things start to open up more and more people are comfortable about having conversations outside COVID and everything else. So that's why I got it. And I think it also allows us to, for Nichelle and I to get onto some episodes together. So more information than you guys probably wanted to hear or care about, but that's kind of what's going on. But today, I want you guys to start second guessing. And what I mean by start second guessing is we need to start critically thinking about the solutions, the answers, and maybe what we've been told from the quote unquote experts. Not saying that they're wrong, because I'm prefacing this in the way that I also want my clients and patients to second guess what I am saying and what I'm telling them. And the reason why is you shouldn't just do what I say because I told you to. Hopefully over time, I've established enough credibility and rapport with you that you would take whatever I say and do it. But even with that, the patients that I've seen the longest and I probably have the most credibility with, they ask the most questions. And that's what I love is I'll say to do something like, well, why? Or I don't understand how that makes sense in my scenario situation. Or like, why would you want me doing that? That's different from what I've been told in the past. And that's the whole point. The whole point is to create an open platform from critical thinking and conversation so that it makes sense to you. I don't want you to just follow what we say blindly because we are the quote unquote experts in a particular area or what we're sharing with you. We want you to do it because it makes sense to you and because you see the value in it. And when you see the value of it, it's going to register with you and it's going to make more sense and it's going to have more long standing effect for what you're trying to get out of it. So I'm doing video on this on the other side and I just got a low battery message. So we'll see how long that lasts. We left all of our other recording devices at the office. So this may or may not just be an audio. Or if you're watching, you'll get the first 5 minutes. I'm just looking over my notes here to make sure I got what is. So it's got to make sense, right? And when we say make sense, it has to be critically applied like over time too. Like it's not just, we say one thing works. It might not work in 3 months. It might not work in a different phase of life. And that's what we really try to portray as this opportunity for us to be able to instill some knowledge and some understanding with our clients and our patients about how their body works and how it operates and how they can start to think about a situation if something arises in the future. So example being is like, hey, if we're working with some shoulder pain and things like that, we're always here for you. We'd always love to work with you, but in the off chance something jumps up in the future, what are some things that you can do to help you, quote unquote, self-diagnose, not like saying, oh, I have a rotator cuff tear or something like that, but to give you an idea of what might be going on. And how that conversation might go is, okay, well, I started having shoulder pain. Where's the shoulder pain? What movements am I doing that's aggravating the shoulder? What did my programming look the day before, the weeks before, 2 weeks before? Where am I at my cycle, the training cycle that I'm currently in? Have I been ramping up? Am I doing more? A lot of these things will give you a lot of information as to why the shoulder might just be hurting randomly out of nowhere. Because again, unless you had trauma, it didn't just come out of nowhere. It had to have been stimulated or created for some reason, right? So those are some of the things that we want you to get about, have the wheels turning about and thinking about. So many of us just take what the expert says and kind of be like, man, it's like the 10 Commandments. It's absolutely true. And, a lot of that I don't want to say blame, but a lot of that comes from marketing and advertising where it's just these black and white blanket statements of yes or no or this or that. And in some situations that may or may not be true, but there's a lot of gray area and life is not just black and white. It's not a draw line in the sand and you're on this side or that side. You got to adapt. You got to move. You got to balance with it and you got to roll with it. Okay. So what we're trying to help you do is we want to help you bridge the knowledge and create a frame of reference to why a particular treatment, exercise, or stretch might be beneficial to you. And those are just obviously 3 examples. Sorry, I should back up. We want to encourage you, no matter who you're working with, whether that be us or somebody else, to ask those questions, right? That frame of reference and that knowledge, you should be having these conversations and asking those questions to the clinician, to the coach, to your practitioner, to your provider that is working with you on a specific thing, right? So many times people just, and I can see it in their eyes. And if you're a receptive clinician, you should be looking for these things. It's not hard when you're talking or they're talking and they're looking at you and you see this kind of gaze or their eyes go up or when someone wants to ask a question, stop. Hey, it looks like you got a question. What were you going to say? What would you like me to clarify? Whatever that might be. So many people just like, no questions. Just listen, just do what I say, and it'll all make sense. You got to go through the process of explaining it. Excuse me. So, and I think a reason a lot of this comes into play is it's easier to I don't want to necessarily say manipulate is the exact word I'm using for, but it's the first word that comes to mind, because I don't think everyone does it maliciously. And manipulation is not, I should back up. Manipulation has a negative connotation to it. I can manipulate a dial. I can manipulate a situation as well in my favor by maybe doing something not in the best way. So that would be obviously a negative versus a positive. There's no positive or negative with manipulating the dial. I can manipulate the dial in a louder setting that would actually favor somebody else, or manipulate a situation in favor of someone else, which may have some altruistic characteristics. So, I don't want to throw manipulation under the bus as being a bad thing, but what it comes down to is so many clinicians use fear to get what they want from the patient rather than understanding what the patient needs are, what their goals are, what their values are. And it's unfortunate because it doesn't allow the person to ask the questions. They're just beating this fear-based model down their throat so that they don't even have the opportunity to ask, or feeling so defeated that you get into this a not healthy relationship of a sort of victim mentality because you are the expert and you know what's best and you don't know anything because you're broken and everything is wrong. Rather than flipping that and being, hey, we are the support system. We're the coach. We're the and I'm throwing across different professions here. We're the therapist. We're the support system. Whatever that is, to help you go above and beyond and not leverage what may or may not be wrong and expanding that in a fear-based model. And it's tough because we get so many people who come in, and one of the first things you see is almost a sigh of relief that they're actually like able to ask a question first and foremost, and be that you'll answer it, or see that it can actually just go into a further conversation, right? Think about the opportunities that are present with understanding and free thinking with better comprehension of who and what you are able to do. That opens up a ton of opportunities that you may not have ever thought to be possible. And part of that is taking that first step of second guessing, especially when it comes to someone saying you should never do this again, or you can't do this because of X, Y, and Z. And you can Google a number of stories on how people have defied odds and were told they'd never do something again. And the situations that you see are absolutely amazing. To see what people have come through to overcome adversity, to be able to run marathons, hike mountains, it's phenomenal. And I think that's what's so amazing about these stories is you have the opportunity, but it starts with second guessing, if that's what we want to use, second guessing, or really coming down with a better understanding and critical thinking process is just like wait, really? I can't do that? Maybe I shouldn't do something right now because of a specific injury, and that might make sense. But to say I can never do something again, or I'm never going to have this opportunity. And there are situations, I'm not saying this goes for everybody, but it's something that we want to just encourage you guys to think about. Something that we want you definitely guys to start asking about. And I think you'll be surprised about what opportunities might be around the corner for you when you do so. And a lot of this comes with feeling comfortable, feeling confident, feeling open to have those conversations with the provider, practitioner, or coach that you have. If you don't feel comfortable, I think that might be a good sign that you might need to find someone else. But hopefully that just stimulates you to think about a couple different things that could spark some really great conversations for you to find that next level, to find that next opportunity. So that's what I wanted to go with today. Thank you for tuning in for me, as always. We'd love to hear a review from you. Please subscribe, please comment, hit us up on social media so we can hear more about what you want to hear about, and we can just connect with you. If this resonates and hits home for you, we want to hear your story and learn a little bit more about you. So thanks for tuning in, guys, to my test episode, which based on post edits, if it goes well, we'll launch it. If you're hearing this, it aired, so that's a wonderful thing, and we're excited to bring you more and more stories and share more and more interactions with local communities and other people across the world. So thanks for tuning in, guys. Live loud.